Today is Sunday, January the 18th. I woke up this morning and found that we had about 4 inches of snow and we are supposed to get more. So I decided this would be a good day to make talamy. Now we will go into my kitchen and I will show you how to make it. Well, we are going to start making our talamy dough. I have gold medal flour, 5 pounds, which I'm going to use. You don't have to use that much. You can start out using half the amount and use half of my recipe. Now to the 5 pounds, I am adding 2 tablespoons of salt and 4 tablespoons of sugar. Okay, now since I have that all added, I've got my warm water and milk, half and half. And I'm going to add my dry yeast to it. 2 packages dry yeast for 5 pounds of flour. If you use half of the amount of flour, 1 package of yeast will be plenty. Now I will mix this up so my yeast will dissolve. And to this, I am going to add my butter, which is clarified butter. You can use oil or shortening. I will mix this in with my milk and water and my yeast. Now then, I'm going to mix my dough. I'll mix my flour and sugar and salt together a little bit here. And I didn't give any measurements on my water and milk, because you can tell from the texture of your dough how much you will need. The dough needs to be kneaded quite a bit till you get the right texture. You want your dough to be smooth and not sticky. So we will keep kneading till we get it mixed real good, which shouldn't be too much longer. Okay. Now I think we have kneaded that enough. Now I'll take some butter and grease my pan around the sides, around the bottom, to kind of keep the dough from sticking. And then we'll knead it. I think we're just about through with our kneading. We will turn it over. Wasn't that easy, was it? We'll get him turned over. Okay. Now I'm going to cover this up and let it rise for about an hour or so until it fills this pan up. Make the sign of the cross, which they say is good luck. Well, I think my dough has risen enough now to start making the balls. See, it is about a little over twice the size it was when I first kneaded it. So that means it's about ready to start. Now what we do, we'll take and break off pieces about that size. And we'll set them out here. You work them, pinch them at the bottom so they'll be smooth. Set it in the flour. That should keep it from sticking to the paper. Wax paper is what it is. Continue doing this till we get it all in the balls like that. Looks like fun, doesn't it? Playing with dough. I remember when the kids were little, each one had his dough and they made their own Talamy. They really thought it was something. That's not hard, is it? See how pretty and smooth the dough comes out? Now we have just about finished making these into little balls, which I will roll out with a rolling pin in just a few minutes. This is the end of my dough here. See how pretty and smooth that dough is? Nice to work with. Now I have spread a cloth over my cabinet here, and I'm going to start rolling these little dough balls here. Let's see how it works here. I flour my cabinet. Use my rolling pin. Roll it out just about as thin as I can. About like that. And we'll lay them over here and let them rise. Now I'll keep doing this till I get these all done that way and spread out on my cabinet. I'll cover them all for about 45 minutes or so till I can see that they have raised like they should be. Well, I'm going to cover these up and let them rest while I roll the rest of them out and get them ready to cover up. And these should be ready in about 45 minutes to an hour. And I'll continue doing the rest of these. Okay, I have rolled out what I wanted for Talamy. I have taken some of the balls that we had and cut them in half and rolled them out in about this size here. Now this will be Kamaaj instead of Talamy. It's the same basic dough. They'll rise and I'll bake them the way they are. And then I took a couple of rolls and cut them up in pieces like this. I'm going to pack these out and put them in this pan, and when they raise, I'm going to put some za'atar on them, which is a very good little snack. I will show it to you when I put the za'atar on. While I am waiting on my dough to rise a little bit more for my Talamy and Kamaaj, I'm going to show you how I make my meat pies and my Talamy za'atar out of the same dough. I have my dough for my meat pies, which I cut up a while ago in smaller pieces. And this is my basic meat, onions, cooked together with salt, pepper, and cinnamon. I have added pine nuts and a little lemon juice. And that's what will go on top of this dough for my meat pies, which we'll do now. I'm just making a few just to show you how this is done. Of course, if I'm making a big batch, I'll probably make at least 30 of these. Spread your meat out over your bread, your dough rather. Get it pretty even. Press it down because your dough is going to rise. Put a few little tomatoes on it, which adds to the color. I'm going to let these set just a few more minutes, and then I'll bake them. Let them rise just a little bit more. And that's what they look like. This is called spiha, or meat pies. Now then, we will work on our za'atar. Same dough. Now I have my za'atar here, which is dry. Add a little oil to it. You don't want it real thin, but you don't want it thick. Now that's just about the right texture. Now we'll take and spoon this on top of each one. I might have to mix a little more. Sometimes it's just hard to judge how much you're going to need. which I'm going to have to do. Now I'll spread this out over the tops as near as even as I can. You can see how my dough has raised since I put it in here. It's real soft. Now then, I've got my za'atar on there. Go back over them, punch them with my fingers a little bit, and I'll leave them alone until they go back into the oven. And that's the way they look. And I will show the meat pies and the Talamy za'atar just as soon as I get them baked. My spiha and my Talamy za'atar are ready to come out of the oven. They have been baking for about 15 to 18 minutes. I will take them out now. And this is the spiha, my meat pies. They're pretty, aren't they? Now we get the za'atar. Perfect. See how pretty those are? And they are good. I'll show them to you after I get them on a plate. So I'm going to put this down and start baking the Kamaaj. And then I will bake the Talamy. I might bake my Talamy first, and then I'll bake my Kamaaj, and then I will show them to you. I'm going to start now. And this is the Kamaaj. See how pretty they look? They go into the oven. I'm going to get ready now to bake my Kamaaj. I'm heating my pan in the oven, which will make them puff up better. We'll see how they work. My pan has been heated, and here they are. When I roll them out, they have puffed up real nice. I can get them out real easy. Kind of hard to handle, but you gotta be careful. I'm gonna stick this in the oven, bake it on high, fast. You'll see how that comes out in just a few minutes. Okay, my Kamaaj have been in there about 8 minutes on a high fire, and they are ready to come out. And there they are. See how pretty? Now I will go over the tops with a little butter Oreo. Give them a little shiny look and keep them soft, which we do to all of our breads. Some people use oil, some use shortening, some use butter. Isn't that a pretty one? That's what you call Kamaaj. Now I'm ready to put more in while my tray is hot. These are all ready. I can get them up real easy. Heaped on that one. It's hard to pick up. Now we'll put these in for about 8 minutes and they'll be ready to come out. Well, I have finished my baking. This is my meat pies. See how nice they came out? Out of the same dough. Here's my Talamy zata. They are very good, easy to make. This is the Talamy. This is made out of the same dough. See how nice and fluffy they are? This is my Kamaaj, still out of the same dough. See how soft and puffy they came out? They're beautiful. You want to know how good they are? Come over to my house and I'll let you tell me. Try it. Lou FARRIS.